Welcome back to online classes. Today I wanted to continue with the same chapter. The name of the chapter is Structural Change. This is session 3 of learning this chapter. In the previous session, session 2, we were going through some of the topics which were given in the page number 4, 5 and 6. Today I wanted to continue with the same chapter. I request all my dear students to take the page number 6. The main title is 1.2 Urbanization and Industrialization, and the subtitle is The Colonial Experience. The paragraph which is given in the page number 6, that is of the last paragraph, concentrates on the main topic of the colonial experience, industrialization, meaning, and the contrast between traditional civilization and industrial civilization. This is the main theme conveyed by this paragraph. First, we can understand the meaning of industrialization. Industrialization is meant to be emergence of machine production based on the use of inanimate power resources like steam or electricity. When we analyze this, the meaning, we can understand that industrialization is meant to be the production was done by means of machines, not by means of human hands. Human hands were replaced by machines, and machines were operated by the inanimate power resources like steam or electricity. When we compare it with that of the traditional method of production, we can understand that human hands were used and human power, animate power were used. Now we can move to the contrast between traditional civilization and industrial civilization, which is given in the same paragraph. First point, in traditional civilization, low level of technological development means technology is hardly used in traditional civilization. Technology was not used in a high way in traditional what we can say civilization, whereas in industrial civilization high level of technological development, it means technology was highly used in industrial civilization. That is the first contrast between traditional and industrial civilization. The second contrast is most people were engaged in working on the land for agricultural production in traditional civilization. Most of the people were working on the land for the production of agriculture, and in industrial civilization we can see most of the people, they were working in factories, offices, shops for machine production. Next one, most of the people they lived in villages in traditional civilization, whereas in industrial civilization people lived in 90% of the people in the West, they lived in cities and towns. The last contrast is traditional civilization did not give much job opportunity to the people, whereas industrial civilization offered new job opportunities to the people. Last point, industrialization leads to urbanization. These are the contrast between the traditional civilization and the industrial civilization. This is all about the main points from this paragraph. Now we can move to the next paragraph. The next paragraph concentrates on the main theme of what we can say, the impact of industrialization on Britain. The impact of industrialization on Britain. The first point, Britain was the first society to undergo industrialization. Britain was very famous because it was the first society for the industrialization to take place. And industrialization causes Britain to become what we can say transform from rural to urban. When industrialization took place in Britain, transformations took place in Britain. It means Britain transformed from rural to urban. For example, in 1800, only 20% of total population lived in city in Britain. But in 1900, it changed to 74%. 74% of total population lived in city in 1900. It means industrialization caused urbanization. Because of that, the cities became populated. And another example we can say, London is the capital city of Britain. It also underwent some changes because of industrialization. For example, in 1800, there were only 1.1 million people who lived in London. But at the start of 20th century, around 7 million people, over 7 million people started to live in London. It means what? Industrialization caused urbanization. So the cities like London became populated. And after that, the London became one of the largest center of commercial and financial center in the world. This is all about the paragraph. Now we can move to the next paragraph. Next paragraph concentrates on the topic of the impact of the British industrialization on India. In the previous paragraph, we learned the impact of industrialization on Britain. Now we can understand what was the impact of British industrialization on India. The first point, because of British industrialization, there are some transformations took place in India. First important was that of deindustrialization took place in some sectors in India. It is one of the what we can say important changes caused by British industrialization. What do you mean by deindustrialization? Deindustrialization means there were some traditional industries in India before the arrival of British, like handicraft. A lot of people were depending upon this type of job and like handicraft, and this was the main industry during that time. It means what? The pre-independent, pre-colonial period, the people were depending upon some industries like handicraft, and because of that people were finding a living. But when the British came to India, the industrialization brought by British caused the destruction of some of the traditional industry in India like handicraft. This is the meaning of deindustrialization. Deindustrialization occurred in India because of British industrialization. Second point, because of British industrialization, some of the old urban centers declined. Third point, because of the British industrialization, the export of silk and cotton declined because these industries faced competition from Manchester in Britain. I already told you that some of the traditional industries like handicraft faced competition from the what we can say, external competition from the British industry. Because of that, the importance of silk and cotton declined, and export also declined because of the external competition from Manchester in Britain. Fourth point, the importance of cities like Surat and Masulipatanam declined, and the importance of cities like Bombay and Madras grew wherever wherever the British people they what we can say applied their force, wherever they were living, such places were given importance. They concentrated on the cities like Bombay and Madras. That's why the importance was shifted from Surat and Masulipatanam to Bombay and Madras, because the British were living in Bombay and Madras. Next point, the British took control over the cities and towns like Tanjavur and Dhaka. So the importance of Murshidabad was lost. At that time, Murshidabad was the center of court artisans and court gentry. Artisans means people who work by hand, and gentry means what? Noble people. Murshidabad was famous for the court artisans and court gentry. When the British came to India, they took control over Tanjavur and Dhaka, so that the importance of Murshidabad was lost. The last point, the cities became populated. It means when British industrialization came into India, urbanization happened in India. Because of that, cities became populated. This is all about the paragraph. Now we can move to the next paragraph. Next paragraph is given in the page number 8, which concentrates on the topic of social changes caused by industrialization on Britain and India. It means the impact of the British industrialization on Britain and on India. The first point, in Britain, because of industrialization, people moved to urban area. I told you that in Britain, especially in London, a lot of people came in search of job because of urbanization, and which was caused by industrialization. But in India, people moved to agriculture. In Britain, people moved to urban areas. In India, the people moved to agriculture, which was illustrated by the census of Indian report in 1911. In 1911, a census was conducted. By means of that, we got some data. On the basis of that, we can say that in India, people moved to agriculture because at that time, during that time, agricultural products became costly, so that people left hereditary handicraft, and moved to agriculture because agricultural products were costly. So a lot of people were attracted to agriculture. This is all about this paragraph. Now we can move to the next paragraph. Next paragraph concentrates on what we can say box 1.4. Box 1.4 is given importance because there are some important points given by the box 1.2. First point, colonialism has contradictory consequences. We also know that colonialism did not bring much benefits to India. Colonialism was not positively taken by Indians. Rather than it brought some of contradictory consequences. The exploitation, capitalism was the result of colonialism. Next point, industrialization brought not only machine production but also changes in social structure. The social structure in India was largely impacted by the British colonialism. Machine production, that is, industrialization was taking place. At the same time, changes happen in social structure. This is all about this paragraph. Now we can move to the next paragraph. Next paragraph concentrates on the theme of the role of cities. Very important theme, the role of cities. What are the roles of a city? First point, a city has key role in economic system in a country. We know that in city much of the important works are happening which brought economical development. Next point, there are some coastal cities like Mumbai, Kolkata, Chennai. Mumbai, Kolkata and Chennai were very much famous because these were coastal cities and center of some of the business. By means of these cities, exporting of primary goods was done and manufactured goods cheaply imported to India by means of the cities like coastal cities like Mumbai, Kolkata and Chennai, and exporting primary goods was done and importing of manufactured goods also happened in India by means of some coastal cities. Third importance, there is a link between colonial cities and economic centers in Britain. It means we also know that the British, they exported the things, the products produced from India to some other cities in Britain. So there is a link between colonial cities and economic centers in Britain. Next point, the colonial cities were exposed to global capitalism. It means the colonial cities like India. In India, the British, they brought exploitation and capitalism. And by means of capitalism, they benefited a lot of things by means of exploitation. And next one, we can illustrate the meaning of capitalism in India because 3/4 of raw cotton were shipped through Bombay in 1900. The British, they exported 3/4 of raw cotton. They exported much of Indian products through Bombay in 1900, and jute was exported from Calcutta to Dundee city, and coffee, sugar, indigo, dyes and cotton to Britain from Madras. I told you that Mumbai, Kolkata and Chennai were coastal cities. Through these cities, they were exporting products like raw cotton, jute, then coffee, sugar, indigo dyes and cotton. They were exporting these things to some of the economic centers in Britain as well as in other countries. The last paragraph for this session concentrates, we can move to the next paragraph. This is the last paragraph of this session, the session 3 of learning the chapter. The main point is, the theme is urbanization in colonial period. This is the main theme of this paragraph. First point, the urbanization in colonial period caused decline of old urban centers. I told you that when the British came to India, they established their power in some places. They took control over some places. Such places were given importance and they brought industrialization. So some of the traditional handicraft were what we can say declining, and wherever they built, wherever they took control, such places were given importance and old urban centers declined or lost its importance. Second point, the emergence of new colonial cities like that of Kolkata, and they were what we can say established they established their control or authority on some cities like Mumbai, Kolkata and Chennai, because these cities were coastal cities. By means of that, they can easily export some products through ship, through the sea. And Kolkata was such the first city, and they brought or they took control over. Next one, in 1690, Job Charnock, an English merchant. In 1690, an English merchant named Job Charnock, he took 3 villages on lease for setting up trading post. The cities were what we can say the cities were established by the Hooghly River. The cities by Hooghly River was taken by or were taken by Job Charnock, and he was an English merchant, and he took the villages on lease for setting up trading post. Next point, last point, in 1698, Fort William was established for the purpose of defensive purpose. It means in 1698, the establishment of Fort William happened for defensive purpose. A lot of large area were covered for military engagement. Such area is called what we can say Maidan, and such area used for military engagement. It means the English people, they took control over some of the villages for their own what we can say fulfillment of their needs. These are the important points for today's session. I request all my dear students to go through these points and learn well, so that it will be helpful for your understanding of the chapter. Read the chapter well and write your own important points. Now I would like to give you some questions to be answered. First question: what are the differences between traditional civilization and industrial civilization? Second point: what are the changes caused by British industrialization on India? The last point: what are the roles of a city? What are the roles of city? Once again, I congratulate all my dear students, because you are using this one golden opportunity to learn things very well. I again request all my dear students to learn things when you have time. Now you have enough time for learning things. It will help you to build a good future. So God bless you. Thank you.